Hello and welcome back to the Retired Farm Boy channel. My name is Jeff. I got a short video here today I want to share with you on retirement preparation. It's what expenses go away or are reduced in retirement. Now I know that my list doesn't encompass everything because everybody's retirement is a little different. Different expenses are going to change because of that. These are the ones that have changed for me. I know that it probably will change for most of you, but I'm sure there's others I missed. So please add into the comments the things that I missed that that you think should be added to this list. Also, at the end of today's video, towards the end, I'll have a link to a playlist of the videos that I've made for retirement preparation. So I hope that you'll take a look at those and find some of those helpful. And if you do find today's video informative or helpful in any way, I'd sure appreciate a like, comment, thumbs up. That will help me get more visibility to my channel. And also, obviously, if you feel so inclined, please subscribe if you would. I'm trying to grow my channel as quickly as I can. So today's video, what expenses go away are reduced in retirement. So I'm going to start out with probably the biggest one, and probably the one that we all hate the most in our lives, and that's taxes. Taxes will be reduced when you get into retirement. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. Obviously, you're not drawing as much money as you probably were grossing while you were still working. So that's part of the issue. Part of it is you're not paying that tax for Social Security anymore because you're not working. You're drawing from investments. And also, if you're taking Social Security, some of that is not taxed. A portion of that can be not taxed, and so that will help you as well. On average, retirees pay a third of the taxes that people who are still working pay. So that's quite a bit of help there in retirement. Second one is retirement savings. So you've been working all these years, you've been saving and saving and saving. So when you retire, you're going to quit doing that because you're going to start drawing on that money that you've saved eventually. So obviously you'll save some money there because you won't be putting that money away. So that's kind of money that obviously you're not going to replace it necessarily. You don't need to. So it's going to feel like a benefit that you're no longer having to do those savings that you're making at this point when you're working. Another one is life insurance. I'm primarily talking about term life insurance. As I was going through my career and working, I would have life insurance. Luckily for me, 3 of the 4 places I'd end up working for in my career had where I could purchase multiples of my salary for life insurance. And I was doing that as I was going through my career. I was taking usually the maximum, which was usually 4 to 5 times your salary, and keeping that as insurance for my wife. And she was doing the same thing for me. So that was our insurance in case one of us were to have to die early, actually, and the other one would still have some money to fall back on as we didn't have enough at that time to probably sustain the same kind of lifestyle that we were used to having. So a lot of times when you retire, like I did, work goes away, but also a term life policy that people may carry instead of through their work. You usually quit doing that because now you're to the point where you have your retirement savings. You no longer need that insurance. Now, I'm not opposed to people that continue to do that. I just think that, in my case, that was the right decision for me. So another one, and this might seem small, but eating out. And I'm primarily talking about when you're working. Now, you may have brought your lunch most of the time when you're working, but there's probably certain occasions where you went out and ate lunch while you're still working. My son, as an example, he is a lineman for the CMC, the local electric company here. And they eat out every day for lunch. They're on the road. They're going from here to there to place to fix things, and so they eat out practically every day. So that kind of money can add up in your budget when you think about that. So when you retire, obviously, you're not going to be doing those lunch options as much anymore as you were. You may also not eat out as much as you did when you were still working as well. So eating out is definitely one that might surprise you, that it could be a help for you in retirement. Gas, of course, for vehicles. I commuted. I had one job one time where I lived, within 5 minutes of my work, and I was in that for about 6 years in that situation. But all the rest of my career, I was driving quite a bit of distance, and that's sort of the way it is anymore. You have to drive farther and further to work if you want to make more money, and that's sort of kind of what it was for me. So I was working long distances. I was living in the country and working in the city. So but gas is now not even a big deal for me. I know I still complain about the gas prices like everybody does, but honestly, no more gas than we buy now. It's really not something to really make that big of a deal for. So gas is definitely one you'll gain on. Vehicle maintenance. Now I'm talking about oil changes, putting tires on your car, even those kind of things that come along with having a car. Those get reduced because you're not driving as much typically, and so the expense of the maintenance doesn't come as often because of that. So that's another one to take some advantage of. Vehicle wear and tear. So what I mean by this is when you're driving your vehicle light, those miles are adding up, and your car is only going to make it a finite number of years. Somewhere down the road it's going to break down on you. So when you're not driving as often, obviously your car is probably going to last longer, and all the maintenance that goes along with keeping a car up, body shop incidents and things like that, wear and tear, just general wear and tear, is definitely going to be reduced. Clothing. Now this may not sound like a big one for a lot of people, but for people like myself who worked in a white collar job their whole career, there was most of the time when I was working, I started out, you had to wear a tie and all that to work. That went away fairly quickly a few years after I started, thankfully. But from business, it's been usually everywhere I've worked business casual ever since then. So you do have to keep clothes looking halfway decent and things like that. So now I hardly ever wear those clothes that I bought to go to work in anymore. The only time I wear them basically is when I go to church. So it's sort of totally different now in that regard. So those are the lists that I come up with. One that I want to mention, though, that I have to admit I'm not good at remembering to take advantage of this. Take advantage of those senior citizen discounts. I went to Captain D's yesterday to eat lunch, and I ordered my food just like normal. Didn't even think about, I don't really still think about when I go to a restaurant about asking for a senior discount. But I ordered my food, and then I looked at this sign that said on Wednesdays, here's the specials for senior citizen discounts. It's like, dog, I could have saved $3 or $4, which adds up. That's almost the price of another meal after a couple times. So be sure to try to take advantage of those. Do a better job of it than I do. Like I mentioned, I've got a link to my video here at the end to the entire playlist that I have for retirement preparation. I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in my channel. My channel continues to grow, although slowly, but I do appreciate more people tuning in, and I really enjoy doing these videos. I'm getting a little bit more inclined to be a little bit better at them. I'm still not great, but until next time, I want to add my famous tagline here, retirement is great.